Hi YouTube. So today is my first official Storytime video. I technically have had another Storytime, but it is under the My Testimony video. So if you want to go back and watch that, please do. Anywho, this Storytime would be that time I found out I was pregnant. Okay, so of course I have two kids under two, so I have to tell you about both times. So let's just make two long stories, two short stories. Okay, anywho, so the first time around, I had only been married for like 3 months. Me and my husband, we had been together like years before that in college. So I had been married 3 months and I wasn't feeling quite right. And so I was like, let me just rule this out. Let me go get a pregnancy test. So the one that I got, two came in a box. So I took one, wasn't pregnant. Okay, don't have to worry about it. And then the next week, it seemed like my body just didn't feel quite right. But, I think I had taken another one. Wasn't pregnant. Okay, so then like 3 weeks later, I think like Aunt Flo didn't come to visit. So I was like, okay, I have an extra one under my cabinet. Like I just keep spare pregnancy tests or something. Well, that's because I didn't feel like going back to the store to like buy them. So I just got like a cheap one, like just in case. So anywho, so I take the test. Don't think anything of it. Just trying to rule it out like the other two. And then I look at it 3 minutes later. It says I'm pregnant. And I'm thinking like, this can't be right. Where's the instructions? So then I start looking for the instructions. And then I look and I match it up. And I'm like, that says pregnant. So I take it upstairs to my husband. He's playing the Xbox. So he pauses his game. And I was like, I have something to show you. So he was like, okay. And so I pass it to him and show him. He was like, so what does this mean? I was like, we're pregnant. And then, so, like, he's like, oh, my gosh. He has the same, like, exact reaction that I have on my face as well. So then we hug, and then he's like, wow, like, I knew we were going to have a kid. I didn't know it was going to be this soon, but wow. Okay, so, let's just not get too excited. We just want to, like, find out from the doctor because it could be a false positive. And I'm like, you're right. So, anywho, since I was in denial, I went ahead and went to Taco Tuesday, had a margarita. I was like, forget this. I'm not pregnant. Whatever. So then, because it was on my mind, I went and bought a few more tests. So I went and bought more expensive tests as if it will be more accurate. I went and bought a digital test because I'm like, oh, this is the real deal. If this says it's it, I'm definitely pregnant. Then I bought the 99-cent test just as an experiment. If all these different kinds say I'm pregnant, I must be pregnant. So then I took like two more of them, still pregnant. Took one right in the morning when I woke up, still pregnant. So I'm like, dang, I must like really be pregnant. Okay, so I called my mom in the car on the way to work. And I was like, well, I just really haven't been like feeling well lately. So I took a test and I took another test and I took two more tests. And yep, they're all positive. So yeah. And I said that because, like, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, clearly I'm married. Like, she knows, like, we must be doing something. Like, we're not, like, holding hands every night or just, like, sitting next to each other on the couch. So I was, like, really scared to tell her, like, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this she's gonna know. But with me and my grown self. But anyways, so she was like, oh my gosh, I knew it. Oh my God, I just knew it. Although I was only like a month. But okay, whatever. She was like, I'll go to the doctor with you so we can officially find out. So we went. The doctor told me yes. It was great. Great. Okay, second time around. Mind you, my daughters are 15 months apart. Second time around, I was on birth control. I'm going to say this one more time. I was on birth control pills. So I figured there is no way in the world I could be pregnant. But I had not been feeling well. I just knew something was off with my body. It didn't seem like, well, after you have a baby, like your body doesn't get quite right for a while. So my body was all over the place. So I never knew if my flow was like coming or going. So who knows? Like, I wouldn't have known at that point if I was pregnant. And I was on birth control pills, so that's like added hormones. So whatever the case, I was like, already like stressed out about life, and I was like, forget it, like nothing could get worse at this point in life. I'm just gonna go buy this stupid pregnancy test so that I can at least get some good news for the night, because I just want to roll it out so it can say negative. I know that it's going to be negative because I am on birth control pills. Okay, well, I go and get the test. This is like 11 o'clock at night. I'm talking to my cousin on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go buy like a little cheap little test, and because all the tests work. So, whatever. And just to rule this out, because that's one less thing that I don't want to be stressed out about. And then I'm going to drink a limerita after that. So, I get the test, come home. She's like, "Hey, you're going to take it right now? You could just put the phone down." I'm like, "No." Like, let me just call you back. Like, just in case. I don't think it's going to be anything, but just in case. She's like, "Okay." So, I hang up the phone, go take the test. I leave the test like sitting there on the counter, because if you're pregnant, like most of the time it really will just come up immediately to show that you're pregnant. But I just needed to give myself like 3 minutes to think. So I walked away, came back, looked at the test. It said that I was pregnant. I was on birth control pills. So, and my daughter at this point was probably like 5 or 6 months. So, I just quietly walked up the stairs. I look like death has come upon me. And I walk up the stairs to my husband. Him and my daughter, they had just fallen asleep in the bed. And I was like, "Hey, look at this." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Look at it." He was like, "Pregnant?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I just started crying, and he's like, "Oh, man." And that wasn't making it any better. So, although I would have been mad either way. If he would have been like, "Oh, I'm so excited," I would have been mad. If he would have been like, "Oh, man," I would have been like mad. So, like, my emotions were all over the place. So I was just like, okay, you know what? Forget it. And then so I just walked away, because he didn't give me the reaction I wanted, which no reaction like would have worked for me, like not even a hug. So I was just like depressed immediately. So I go downstairs in my house, go sit in the corner with my cell phone in the dark. I'm telling you, I was so dramatic. I sat in the dark and I called my cousin, because I already knew she was expecting me to call her back. And she was like, "So what did it say?" I was like, "I don't want to have any more kids, and I'm pregnant, and I was on birth control, and I don't understand." And she was like, "No, it's going to be fine." I was like, "No, you don't understand. I'm going to be 250 pounds. Oh my gosh." And like, she starts laughing on the phone. I'm crying real tears. And she was like, "I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be loud. I'm trying to be funny. But you're like being so dramatic right now. Like, you're not going to be 250 pounds. You're going to be fine." I was like, "I still haven't lost all my weight from the last baby." She was like, "You're going to be fine. You're just getting it out the way. I'm sorry. I know you're going to be mad at me for saying this, but I'm happy for you." I was like, "Are you kidding me? My baby is still a baby, and I'm just robbing her of her babyhood." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." And I like sat there and just like cried, and my head is down. And my husband comes downstairs. He was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, I don't know how I got pregnant. I feel like I did something wrong in life and God is punishing me. How do you get pregnant on birth control? And he's like, "It's going to be fine. This is God's plan for our life. It's going to be fine. Like, you don't have to be mad. Like, why are you crying?" I was like, "Because I didn't expect this." He was like, "Well, things happen and it's fine. And we'll just be getting it over with, the pregnancies. And we will get through this." And I was like, "Okay, well, can I drink my limerita?" He was like, "No, because now you know for a fact that you're pregnant. It'd be different if you didn't know, but you know, and no, it's going to be fine. Just set up a doctor's appointment." And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I felt like I was like a high schooler, like 15, 14, and I had just told my parents I was pregnant or something. It was the most dramatic night of my life. And I was probably so dramatic because my hormones were still not back to normal from my last baby. So it was just a lot. But give me like a month. I was okay with saying, oh, yeah, I'm pregnant. Because at that time, I was like 10 weeks pregnant. I didn't even know. But, as time goes on, you start to get more attached and bond with your baby while you're pregnant. And I came to peace with it, and I was like, this is God's plan. He wouldn't put anything more on us than we can bear, and I'm gonna accept this wholeheartedly. And like, either way, a baby is a blessing, and she is here today, and I just love her so much. I have 2 kids under 2, so my life is hectic, but I love them so much. And thank God my husband is like supportive and helpful. And that was my story for the day. So I know most people probably think like married people, like, it's not like a big deal when they find out they're pregnant. No, no, no. It is a big deal if you're not expecting it, and if you're not expecting it and you already have a baby. So my luck, it would have been twins or something. Then I would have been like, God, please, just, oh my God, please let us win the lottery. But anyways, that's all I had. Hope you enjoyed my story. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and also visit my blog at www.mrsblogaholic.com. Okay, have a good one. Bye.